co-founder of Phenomenal Touch Massage, I have a sincere commitment to offer both the highest caliber of touch as well as the highest quality of instruction to students who seek my professional guidance. Make a commitment to make every stroke matter, to make this stroke be the only stroke you'll ever do on that. Make it that important. And then the whole massage feels that way. Draping. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have the person's breasts, buttocks, genital region be not only covered but securely covered, especially in phenomenal touch, where you're moving their body. It's your job to move the drape with them to make sure they're completely covered in any sensitive area. Boundaries. State your boundaries before, either verbally or in your disclosure form when they come for the first session. My disclosure form, which is in your notebooks, talks about phenomenal touch massage being more like Watsu, where you're flowing and moving. So in order to do that kind of thing, there's times where their body might be a little bit closer to your body than in a normal massage. So rather than create any tension there, I let people know in the very beginning, this massage is never going to be sexual. And the clearer your boundaries are, the safer your client feels. Watching what you say. Things like, oh my God, you're so tight. What have you been doing lately? So you may feel tightness and then say, relax. And you may think that's encouraging them to relax, but instead what's happening is a judgment. Those are things that can really ruin a massage for somebody. What I want to be told is how well I'm receiving, how much I'm letting go. And I help the body to receive by the way in which I touch. It is our responsibilities as givers to help a body let go. When I am listening deeply with my hands, they have eyes, they have ears, there's all these senses in your fingers. So you're listening with your fingers, you're not just touching. And when a client feels you listening, they can relax. What is it that my hands are doing? What is it that your hands are going to be doing after you take Embracing Level 1? You're going to be practicing all these principles. We are going to now demonstrate some of these principles that help to create safety. The first principle that really makes a huge difference for feeling safe is entrance. How do I enter when my hand touches the body? I have had massages from people who are incredible body workers. Their techniques are amazing, but their entrance is so abrupt that I can't relax. So I drop down, hook onto the tissue below where I want to begin with my finger pads. I'm putting a little bit of pressure. Now I put a little more, a little more, a little more, and then I pause. If I was coming out of the move, like this, and I go like that, now how am I going to go into the next move without just doing this and coming off? So I go like this, I turn my hand, I go into the side of my hand, I drop in with my forearm, then a little bit more, then a little bit more. So the pressure increases until I'm fully in. So now there's a little bit more, a little bit more. By the time I'm reaching where I want to be on that full pressure. I use my body weight in a plank position to drop in. So I'm not pushing at all. And it's easy on me. And as I tiptoe in, I'm staying over my move. And then I keep my pressure vertical. I go vertical into her body. And now I'm going to seamlessly transition down the back. So I have to bring my body with me. Now I'm going to make an exit coming off her body, but I overlap. So before this comes off, this one comes in, and I can go up. So there's a sense of continuity.
Whoa.
Isn't that cool? I'm never taking my hands off of her if I can help it. The next thing that helps the person feel safe is the speed that you go. So I am trying to match what I call her speed limit. Everybody has its own speed limit. So I'm listening to her body with my finger pads, and it's telling me, that's great, or go slower, or go faster. I watch her breath, and lean back. And we talked about hooking onto the tissue, so I'm moving the tissue rather than my hand just over the tissue. I'm hooking on and I'm bringing the tissue with me. That really engages the person and really invites them to let go. Part of feeling met is entering the tissue where there is space. Isn't that cool? So rather than entering where there's density, like right here I feel density, right? So I could just plow my way in to that density and she will kick me out. And I say to myself, how can I get inside that tightness without being invasive? I need to find space within the density. So rather than banging on the door, how does the door open? I don't know. Let's explore. So how do I create space? Imagine this is a long rubber band and it's pulled really taut. If I try and push into a taut rubber band, it's going to kick me out. But I take the ends of the rubber band and I bring them together. And what's that creating? Space. And now I can enter. The door's open. And I can move throughout the whole body like that. So you notice a lot, I'm doing this a lot. I'm gathering the tissue so that I can enter into the tissue. Phenomenal touch is about chasing spaces. I let her head roll up onto me because I want to create space. Go with the muscle I want to. Shorten it. Doesn't that make a huge difference? You see all the space? You can enter space, dropping, using gravity, creating a fulcrum, lifting, dropping. You see how slow this is? So there's a freedom in the fall, but it's done slowly. It's not done. Isn't that beautiful? She needs to feel safe enough to drop her weight. So if I just came in and did a big drop, she would not feel safe. So I want to insinuate the movement that's coming up. So I insinuate it by doing a very small version of it, a homeopathic version, and watch how my body moves with it. Moving up and down the spine, but even this amount really opens the spine. And on some bodies who have very, very tight spines, this is maybe all you'll do. Right. But then there's bodies that have really loose spines and want to have more of an undulation. How do you know? You listen. Work up on my toes, moving into the table, my arms straight, pressed into my body. I go slow and I'm using my weight rather than my strength. I'm dropping vertical into her. I go under her knee, and then I work three-dimensionally on her thigh. Two hands in relationship to each other. They're speaking to each other. This one goes up, this one goes down. We're working in unison. And to have your leg worked on both sides like this is amazing. And from here, I'm going to back up a little. I'm going to get flat. My arm is still on her leg. I'm going to come all the way under her shoulder. I'm going to lift up, drop my body, and I'm going to embrace her arm and then lean back with my body weight. And before my hand lets go of her hand, I'm going to put my hand back on her leg so there's always continuity and there's an overlap. So this hand starts moving before I put that hand down. And I keep working. I come down, all the way down, go all the way. My hand is now underneath her knee. I'm going to create a fulcrum on her leg. This is my lever. And with my body supporting me, I'm going to lift her leg and then I'm going to pull the drape as I go. From this position, I can do a frog that goes lateral. Lift up on an IT band, drop in. And then I'm going to go up and do a medial frog where I'm pushing her in towards herself. And I'm going to make sure the draping is still good. Come around to create a fulcrum. Put my hand on her hip and holding the drape as I go. So I'm not exposing her buttocks. I push her up and over. Is that okay? Just going to bring my knee up on the table to protect my back. And now I can make circles and undulate her leg and her QL. Isn't that beautiful? How does that feel?
So good.
Now I'm coming out of this move. That is the most important time to drape well. So I'm going to hold the drape like this. Let her foot stay on my thigh. I'm going to come under her knee and bring her down like that. And to make Phenomenal Touch even more phenomenal, you can seamlessly weave in the ancient magical art of hot stones.
It's so creative.
Phenomenal Touch is genuinely a sacred dance of the heart and body that allows clients of varying ages, sizes, and levels of flexibility to be truly met like never before.